Hello again, and welcome to our podcast, Along the Rock, which pays homage to the people of the Sauk Valley and the river that runs through it. I'm your host, Mark Morris. Joining me today from the CGH Respite Program is Beth Sterk, immediately to my left.
Hi, Mark.
Thanks
nice
for
to
coming
meet you. Yeah.
Tina Miller in the middle there, and I won't try to stretch too far here, and Amanda Blaine.
Hi there. Thanks for having us.
You bet. We've been told for many years, I'm not sure exactly how many, but many years, that the idea of more and more people, first of all, living longer, but secondly, having more diseases of the mind, if you will, whether it be Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. That is coming true, I'm led to believe. Gene Hackman just passed away, and I guess he had advanced Alzheimer's, as everybody would know. But what exactly is your program like for those who have to care for those who have Alzheimer's? And we can go from there. Okay. When did you start, and where are you right now?
Thank you, Mark, for those questions. So we started this program actually January 29th of this year. So it's brand new. It took us about a year to get it off the ground. As the dementia navigator for the Health Foundation, I've worked with a little over 300 families, and I've discovered that in addition to resources, one of their greatest needs was some caregiver assistance, some caregiver respite. And what we find happening as a caregiver, and I have a personal experience with this, was when we become a full-time caregiver, it's not just 24 hours a day, it's 36 hours a day or more. And what we find is we put our own physical and emotional needs on hold because we're providing care for a loved one. And so we see that there's just such a huge need by families to have a place that their loved one can go, be socially engaged, so that the caregiver can go to the grocery store by themselves, or they can go to their own doctor's appointments. They can go have coffee with a friend and feel like they're still living a normal life.
Sure.
Because being a caregiver is hard, and we understand that. And so we saw this need, and we took about a year to get it off the ground. And it's a social model program. So it's one morning a week where caregivers can bring their loved one and know that they're socially engaged. And we're looking at person-centered activities. So, for instance, if someone was maybe someone that was a homemaker and did a lot of baking, those types of activities. Maybe there was a TV repairman, and we look at those activities, and we do person-centered activities with those individuals. So it's a social model only program. We don't provide any care. We don't do any medications or anything like that, but it's a social engagement opportunity for individuals that have dementia or Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, so, and obviously very, very strongly needed, as you said.
Absolutely.
Tina and Amanda, tell me what it's been like just for the short time it's been in existence, running things.
It's been great. We've really been able to get to know the people, the guests that are coming. We're really getting to see how they're smiling when they come in. Because the first day, they're a little shy, got to get to meet people. And then they come in and they can just spread their wings. I find activities for them to do. Like they love word search, the large print, so everybody can see it. We've done some painting. A couple weeks ago, we did a birdseed ornament where I brought birdseed in, and we used cookie cutters, and we let them dry, and they took them home. So I asked them the next week, "You getting any birds yet?" And they all said yes. So it worked out. And it's just great to see them open up and give them, I give them different things to do. And, just sometimes if they just want to sit there for 5-10 minutes and just chill, that's what we do too. We just kind of let them chill. I let them socially visit with each other so they can make friends.
Sure.
And that's a good thing too. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and it's been great.
All right. You can add to that?
I can. It's just been wonderful to see the growth in some of the guests that we have. There, one in particular I can remember, he didn't want to come in the beginning, and
Is that
he just was
ashamed or?
No, he wasn't comfortable. He just didn't. He was more comfortable at home with his wife. But now moving forward, he has it on the calendar. It's his social hour, and he's the first one there every week and the last one to leave. He doesn't want to go. So it's just been very rewarding to see the progress and how much the guests enjoy the program.
Yeah, I guess I'd kind of compare it to taking a deep breath when you're not able to at home.
Right.
3 hours is, a goodly amount of time, so you can. Does he have his own chair? He just sits down, puts his feet up, shoes off.
Make everybody comfortable. Yeah, it works. Yep.
That's interesting. What does somebody have to do to qualify? I mean, is it all Alzheimer's patient care people, or is it just any dementia care that you concern yourself with?
So basically, if someone has a mild cognitive impairment or some type of dementia diagnosis, simply they can reach out, give me a call, and we can kind of talk about their abilities. Again, we're looking at the abilities that these individuals still have, and we want to be able to bring joy to them. And so we'll talk a little bit, and then we schedule a meet and greet with Tina. It usually is about a 1 hour time frame. Tina goes through a lot of questions with them about their occupation, some of the hobbies that they had maybe when they were younger. They talk about lifestyle a lot. And then the only 2 requirements we have is that they have to be able to self-toilet, use the restroom on their own, and we don't administer any medications. So we just ask that if they're in that situation, that maybe those morning meds, if appropriate, can be given before they come in the morning. But then Tina gets to know them more on a one-to-one basis than before their very first day in attendance. So that's kind of nice too. So yeah.
Tina, that I guess asking all those questions and getting all those answers might give you some sense of who will get comfortable with whom. It's already there, maybe, and you can make some friend matches.
Yeah, and that does. Then they can make that connection a little bit too, and I can kind of introduce them. Like when I have someone new that comes, I make sure that I have, we introduce ourselves. We sit in a circle so everybody gets to know each other, because I don't want them to feel like, oh, I went there and then I didn't know these people, So we make sure that, they get to introduce themselves. I introduce myself, and we go around the circle, and then we socially connect then.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for them. Then you don't have to feel like, oh, I feel just a little different here.
Yeah. Got to start all over. I don't know this person.
Right.
Now you kind of do.
Yeah.
Amanda, lots of coffee?
Oh, lots of coffee.
Well, that's all part of the social experience.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are now charged with taking care of their loved ones who have dementia of some sort probably used to go to McDonald's and sit around with their friends, or Hardee's, or any one of a number of other places where older men and women like to hang out with their buddies.
Right.
So,
We do have snacks and water,
and
we figured out all of their favorites. So there is time to just
like
sit and relax.
Yeah. You said that you started just in January before we started filming here, and yet you're almost half full already.
We're a little over half full, yep. Yeah. So initially we felt like we could take 10 guests initially. Our goal was to perfect the program, work all the little kinks out of it, and develop a wait list if it comes to that. And then I think at that point, we'll look at the feasibility of, do we add another morning, or do we add an afternoon session for families? So our initial intent is to take 10 guests, because we feel with Tina on board and the volunteers that we utilize through the CGH auxiliary, that we can handle 10 guests very well. And so due to space and staff and volunteers, I think 10's a good number. And we'll go from there and see if we can grow the program and help more families.
Do you accept offers of help? And do you need, or will you need, do you think, more space?
I think those are great questions. And I think I think yes to both.
I would agree. Yes.
I think we're very blessed to have some amazing volunteers. One of our volunteers, her husband had dementia, and so she's very well versed in that caregiver role. And we've got some other fabulous volunteers, retired nurse, another volunteer that's volunteered for years. And so we've done some additional training with them for dementia, Alzheimer's disease, some behavior training, things like that, to make them more comfortable in that environment. And they're doing a phenomenal
They're fabulous.
job,
Yes,
I think, in
fabulous.
connecting with those guests. Again, I think if we have a total of 5 individuals between staff and volunteer, then we can handle 10 guests very well. And again, do those person-centered activities. If crossword puzzles or word searches isn't their gig, then we look at something else. We have fidget boards, we have fidget cubes. As Tina said, they paint. There's just a plethora of things that they can do. And again, we really want to focus, Mark, on those abilities that individual still has, because maybe they were a painter when they were 20,
Sure.
34 years old, and now they have a cognitive impairment. Maybe they can't paint at the level they could paint before, but they can still go through that maneuver of holding the paintbrush, dipping into the paint, and putting it on paper. So we want to look at the abilities that they still have, because even though they might have a cognitive impairment, they still have abilities. And we want them to be happy and still do some of those things. And so that's our job when they're at the respite program.
Yeah. Do you also give out advice for when the for when the patient and the visitor have to go home again? Do you hand out advice for how to handle certain situations? Because, as you said, it's not a 24-hour-a-day job.
Right.
It's more.
Right. So I guess that's where my role comes in as the dementia navigator. Generally, these families have been in contact with me, and we've done some education and directed them to resources in the community that are accessible for them. And so if they're having issues maybe at home with behaviors or things that trigger their loved one, then we can get educational materials into their hand to help them better manage that. We have support groups in the area that we can refer them to, because I feel like when you have support from peers, things are easier to manage. And so, they can certainly get additional resources from me as the dementia navigator. I would be happy to help them with that.
That is good, and I'm sure very valuable, because I've known a couple of people, and just in my own life, that have been caretakers of those with, mental deterioration, if you will. And both of the people that I knew were taking care of their spouses, and both of the people I know or knew who were men died before their wives did, because they were so dedicated. So much, there was so much love between them and their wives that they thought they had to bear it all when the time came, and that that their wives would have done the same for them. But you can't always do that. You can't.
Right.
So at least I'm sure you folks know that you do need help, you do need support, and you do need time off.
Absolutely,
Right.
Mark. Absolutely. Caregiving's hard, and sometimes it can be really hard, and physically and emotionally as well. And so we set up this opportunity for caregivers so that they can take care of themselves a little bit more and maybe a little bit better, keep their doctor's appointments, keep their dentist appointments. have coffee with their friends and
Please
feel
suggest.
alive again. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, yeah.
There you go. There you go. So
Appreciate you coming up.
yeah,
And if
thanks for having
somebody
us.
wants to get a hold of you, I'm an old guy, so I probably use a telephone if I want to call you or contact you. What's the telephone number, and what are some other ways through technology that you can
Okay.
access the program?
Okay, you can reach me at the hospital or the clinic number. I'm extension 3977, or you can reach me via email. You can reach out to Amanda or Tina as well, and we'll get you in the right direction. And maybe, caregiver respite, maybe that's not what you need right this second, but it might be something down the road, that you would want to consider. And we'll certainly get you in contact with and connected to the resources in the community that you might need.
So there are more outlets.
There's more outlets for people, absolutely. So we're just very blessed to have the support of the Health Foundation and some extremely generous donors to help bring this caregiver respite program to light. And we're so grateful for that because without community support, we wouldn't be able to do this. It's a free respite program. And I feel very blessed to be a part of that. So, thanks to the community support and the Health Foundation for that.
And if you're already in that situation, don't wait a long time before you call, because as these guys have said, they're already over half full, and the program just started late January.
January 29th was our first
great.
day of the program. So yeah.
It's
It's been 6 weeks.
yeah. March.
Yeah.
So
And just a shout out to Bethel Reformed Church as well. They've provided us with the space and the opportunity to grow in the event that we have a wait list and we need to expand the program. So we're very grateful for that too. So, all right.
Thanks again.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Also like to thank our crew here at the old ranch for making this program possible on a regular basis. I'm Mark Morris, and hope you can join us next time along the rock.